I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC middleweight contender Paulo Costa agrees to a new four-fight deal with the UFC, in talks with the UFC to face Sean Strickland or Khazmat Chimaev next. Paulo Costa will remain a UFC fighter. Paulo Costa has been vocal about his displeasure with his current or before his current contract with the UFC promotion announced he was booked to face Robert Whitaker at UFC 284. Uh, Paulo Costa made it very clear that he would not fight without a new deal. Shortly after that, Paulo Costa said he would be testing free agency, but now Paulo Costa has revealed he has agreed to a new four-fight deal with the UFC. How about that? I haven't signed I haven't signed a new contract yet, but we have reached a deal with the UFC regarding the pay, Paulo Costa said to PVT. It wasn't easy, but there was a lot of hard work, and I have to highlight Tamara's brilliant work here. Once Paulo Costa agreed to four fight a new four-fight deal, he immediately started negotiations for his next scrap. According to Paulo Costa, he says the UFC has asked him, okay, this is very important, to fight Sean Strickland in May or Khazmat Chimaev in Dubai in October. But Paulo Costa says he actually wants to fight both of them. Okay, I want that too, Paulo Costa said. Of facing both men back to back in 2023. The UFC wants to make sure this Chimaev fight will happen at all costs, but I want to make both happen. We'll see. As of right now, Paulo Costa says neither fight is agreed to, as he has to sign his new deal first. But once that happens, Paulo Costa hopes he can get a fight booked quickly, as he hasn't fought since last August. Not too bad, versus Luke Rockhold. I believe that was the Leon Edwards head kick of Kamaru Usman last year in Utah, I believe. Paulo Costa, as mentioned, snapped a two-fight losing streak his last time out, as he defeated Luke Rockhold, who, after losing at UFC 278, Luke Rockhold, I don't know if, did he retire? I know he left the UFC. I know he's in KFC right now. But prior to that, Costa lost a decision to Marvin Vettori and was knocked out by Israel Adesanya for the middleweight championship fight. He holds notable wins over Yoel Romero and Uriah Hall, among others, in the UFC. So the question is, who do you want to see Paulo Costa face next, basically? Do you want to see Paulo Costa fight Sean Strickland? Do you want to see Paulo Costa fight Khazmat Chimaev? There's also a name like he could face Dracus du Plessis, right? That's a new name in the middleweight division that people would probably really like to see Paulo Costa fight. If he really obviously if he wants a fight in May, if that's the first fight that they're offering him, I would, versus Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is definitely going to take the fight. Paulo Costa, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, because Sean Strickland can easily defeat Paulo Costa. I wouldn't say easily, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an easy fight for either of them. But, you could look at Sean Strickland and say, yeah, he could, it's a 50-50 fight. Sean Strickland could win that fight versus Paulo Costa. Then the question is, how much will the UFC be offering Chimaev versus Paulo Costa? So Paulo Costa has to make a pretty quick decision. He could wait until, October to fight Chimaev and get a really, really, a big payday. I don't know if that would be on, the main. It probably wouldn't be the main event if it's going to happen in Dubai, because they said something about Islam Makhachev fighting on that card in Dubai. So I would imagine that would be more, obviously that's going to be a championship fight. So if I'm Paulo Costa, Whew, I probably would, I mean, I don't know his funds and things like that, but if I was Paulo Costa, I would think it would probably make a little bit more sense to wait and fight Khamzat Chimaev in October. It'll be Chimaev going up to the middleweight division. You kind of also want to be the guy to stop the hype train, and also the UFC kind of has to know, like, if dealing with Paulo Costa is it's a bit much. Let's say Paulo Costa goes in and defeats Sean Strickland. What's to say that he's gonna want to wait until October to fight Chimaev? Why would he fight Chimaev when he just defeated Sean Strickland, who's ranked in the top 10 in the middleweight? I'm pretty sure if Paulo Costa fights Sean Strickland in May and Alex Pereira wins his fight versus Israel Adesanya, Paulo Costa is going to call for a title fight. He's not going to want to fight Chimaev. Why would he want to fight Chimaev for? Chimaev wouldn't offer him anything, if Alex Pereira wins that fight, Paulo Costa could easily, make it known that he would prefer a title fight instead of waiting for Chimaev. But let me know, who do you think Paulo Costa should fight next? If I'm Paulo Costa, if I wanted to take a quote-unquote easier fight, I would like to see Paulo Costa versus Dricus du Plessis. I think that would make a little bit more sense than fighting someone as very, very dangerous as Sean Strickland in the middleweight division. If you get a win there, you're probably going to call for a title fight over wanting to fight Chimaev, who's not even ranked in the middleweight division. But I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about UFC middleweight contender Paulo Costa has agreed to a new 4-fight deal with the UFC. He's in talks right now to face Sean Strickland and or Khamzat Chimaev next and after. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.